Hey everybody, welcome to Module 11. We are getting in close. You got one more week left for your social media presentations. So I want to take a little bit of time here and kind of go through some of the common misses that I've seen from doing this class now for 5 years in a row, and seeing a lot of the misses where students in groups have had historically some issues. So hopefully we can avoid those and set you guys up for something where you're going to feel really good and be successful. So in general, one of the big things is not providing enough depth. So just going through and cursing over here the different memes that we're going to do. Here's the pieces. I want to see a lot more about the actual in-depth thinking that went behind these things, the overall strategy, and then how you're going to use the unique traits of the medium. So don't tell me about the mediums. For instance, Twitter has X million users. Instead, make it tailored to your audience. It doesn't matter that Twitter has X million people on it, because the vast majority of those people don't matter at all to your brand. I want to know how many of your audience is on Twitter. So don't just make it generic to that. How many of your people would be there? How often are they using it? What do they use it for? And then repeat that through each medium. So don't tell me generics about each of the mediums. Make sure you're specific toward your audience and what you're going to do that. And then when I talk about organic versus paid, this should be multiple slides on the difference between those people. Most people are pretty good about doing organic because that's mostly what they're doing in the day-to-day lives, but they don't get nearly in depth into what the paid media piece, and you really need to do and get into those areas. And that needs to, for the paid, I need to see your budgets, your numbers, what are you going to be doing to promote, boost, and really have a strong ad strategy as well for a promoted social strategy, because it's not just enough to have organic pieces on there. And so then another point, when I talk about measurement there, this again should be several slides, all using research and data. You should be going pretty in depth. Again, kind of a common refrain that you've seen throughout the semester is look at what your favorite brands are doing. How are they measuring success on social? What's important to them? How are they moving forward? And see how you can repeat those things to make successful for you guys. One of the other mistakes I see quite often is not using the unique traits of the medium. So by that I mean your Twitter content and your Twitter strategy should be very different than what your Facebook strategy is, or your TikTok strategy, or your YouTube strategy. Any of those things, I want to see you using the unique traits of the medium. Probably guessed this by now, but a lot of people struggle on not connecting the audience's wants and needs for the social strategy. It's just here's what we're going to do, not referring back to who your composite persona is. Make sure you're keeping that person in mind throughout everything that you're doing there. Similar with the brand value proposition, make sure you're talking about how you're going to bring that brand value proposition to life on there. When you're creating the creative for this, when you're showing the actual pieces, the things that you're going to do as examples of your work, of your ideas, make sure you put them in layout. So for an Instagram post, it should be formatted and framed as if it were an Instagram post. Same thing, TikTok stuff. So don't just say you're going to do it. Show me what it would look like for those things. And then moving through for the final piece for the recorded presentation, I want to say is making sure that you follow the directions on there. This should only be 5 minutes max. Obviously, you can't cover your full presentation in that time, so you're going to need to pick out the highlights on that. But one of the things I'm looking to see is making sure you are keeping with that 5-minute constraint on this. Make sure you're rehearsing it beforehand as well. The presentation you record and submit for this should not be the first time you run through this as a group. Another common mistake that I see people with the presentation is just reading what's on the slides. That's not really a presentation, that's reading. Your comments should add to the overall discussion. I can see what's on the screen, but I want to make sure that you're adding further context, further color, and elaborating beyond what's on there. And finally, make sure you show your faces as you present, and use all group members for that. Everybody should be involved, and then I want to make sure that we can see your faces over to the side. Just kind of have this disconnected voice talking as there's screens over. It's really tough to follow, so please make sure you're featuring each other on that. So overall, that's what I have for you guys on this. Really looking forward to seeing what you guys do as you get kicked off on these things, and let me know how I can help you out, set you up so you'll be successful. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.